This is Dolynny TV and welcome back to another Edmonton Oilers discussion. And my pardon for the mic quality, guys. I am working on that. However, more important breaking news today. I know I'm a few minutes behind it, but, well, you know what? You can't turn down steak dinner. So, the Oilers, well, they headed into the night with a 6.5% chance at the first overall pick in the 2019 NHL Entry Draft. However, the lottery comes up a bust in a sense. We ended up moving down. However, I guess that's not exactly what you're looking for. First, New Jersey won the draft. It's New York and Chicago the next to pick after New Jersey. Fine, dandy, good to go. The top players in the draft stay in the East, stay away from us, good to go. Let's get on with it. 8th overall, the Oilers select after moving down because, well, that's just the way she goes at this point. Is, you know what, it's been a losing season, might as well lose a spot in the draft as well. Not that I'm too concerned about it. Like I said, that's just the way the season's going. I'm just making an analysis there. No, what I'm very excited for with the 8th overall draft pick in the NHL Entry Draft for 2019 in Vancouver is the fact that the Edmonton Oilers now have a chance to do something that is needed to be done for a season and a half, right? So let's go down the list here for the Oilers and see who they could select. You have a guy like, I'll go 6 through 9 or 10. Actually, I'll go 6 through 10 because you just never know how it's going to happen. Obviously, we got Evan Bouchard last year. Who saw that one coming? And how good of a pick does that look like? So everyone concerned about needing to tank. Guess what? I'm not 100% concerned about our draft position either. Dylan Cousins, Peyton Krebs, who if you've tuned into the NHL 19 stuff on Dolynny TV, you may know from the Oilers franchise. Alex Turco is who we are drafting by the mock draft on Tankathon. And then you've got Trevor Zegras and Victor Soderstrom in the 9 and 10 holes. So, fine and dandy, those are the guys you can pick. But like I said, there's something unprecedented that the Oilers can do that I really think needs to be done. Now, you take a look at, well, the teams that'll be drafting higher. Obviously, there's not really room to move anyone there. But these lower drafting teams who may want a second pick inside the top 10, there's room for error and room for, risk. Risk is the word I'm looking for here. And that, in terms of the Edmonton Oilers, when you're talking about acquiring a player from the Oilers in a trade involving the number 8 overall pick, I'm talking a guy like Milan Lucic, a guy like Andrej Sekera, or a guy like Adam Larsson. So obviously, well, inside the top 10, I don't really see too many great possibilities, obviously, but there's room to move, right? If you can move, say, the first overall or the first round pick, the 8th overall, and Lucic for a pick in the second round and a second line guy, you're coming out absolutely damn right great with it, I must say. But obviously, I'm not concerned about what exactly at this point the return looks like. I can't go in the last 45 minutes and educate myself on the best possible return for the 8th overall pick and a Lucic or a Sekera or a Larsson or a, you know, it's just hard to do. But the best solution I can see with the 8th overall pick is to get back a second round pick and something good. Obviously, to the Oilers, what's good? Sam Gagner was good, so let's not throw good around lightly. Let's actually mean good this time. And with the 8th overall pick, why I'm so intrigued about trading that is it's just outside of the top 5. It's still in the top 10 by a good margin, right? Still 2 picks inside the top 10. Actually 3 depending on how you look at the top 10. And you allow yourself room to, well, still pick up a good player should you choose not to trade it. Now, if you're an outside observer, you're not an Oilers fan that tunes into Dolynny TV, right? Obviously, if you're not an Oilers fan, I don't know what my cat's losing her mind about. If you're not an Oilers fan, but you tune into Dolynny TV and you sit here and you kind of discuss the issues with me as they are presently, obviously, we're looking at the general manager search. Is there a GM in place by June 23rd? And does that draft make sense to pick the player then? Or do you make a trade and make a bold move like Peter Chiarelli did early in his tenure? Well, if I'm a general manager in Edmonton, I'm making sure to draft that young kid. But if you're Keith Gretzky, still in the GM chair, whether it be as an official general manager or whether it still be as the interim general manager, this is your chance, considering everything points to, well, Mr. Keith Gretzky staying on long-term with our Edmonton Oilers, even after a new general manager has changed. If that is the case, you have your chance to put the stamp on the future of the team how you would like to. And that's I mean, for us as Oilers fans, that sounds scary, risky, troublesome. But realistically, you know what? It takes more than 2 moves to define a general manager. And the reason I look to this being the best move the Oilers could make is if you have Keith Gretzky in that role, it's defining. It's a defining, franchise-turning move, right? If you free up cap space, bring back somebody who's of value, plus get another pick or another player or something of value. Obviously, if you're going 2 players in that draft, you've got to go with a second line, third line kind of guy, a guy above an Alex Chiasson, but with his same qualities, or you have to go with a pick in that situation, or you have to go with an entry-level kid. You can't afford 2 $4 million contracts, even if you shed Milan Lucic, obviously. So there's a couple of things, sort of lots happening outside the door. The Cats are going to war out there. I'm very, very turned up about what's happening up there. More as anyway, like I said, to my point, I believe it is very simple. Trade the pick. That's my analysis. You guys were all very concerned about, got to get a top pick. How could you trade a top 3 pick? Well, there we are. No top 3 pick for the Oilers. It's not top 5. It's not top 7. It's number 8 overall. So, I guess you look at some of these guys we could pick. Dylan Cousins, an absolute monster for sure down there in Kootenay. He's done very well for himself. He's a little bit, well, he's in that mature range, right? You look at the age range of this draft. Number 1, Jack Hughes, as it stands, 17.9 years old. Capo Caco, 18.2. Vasily Podolsk, I'm not even going to try, 17.8. Bowen Byram, 17.8. And then you get into the whole murderer's row of 18-year-olds. 18.2 for Kirby Dack, 18.2 for Dylan Cousins, 18.2 for Peyton Krebs, and Alex Turcotte, 18.1, where we are slated to pick. The thing we have to remind ourselves of, though, here is the scary part within the top 10 is there are 2 players committed to going to college. And if I've learned one thing over the past 3-4 years watching top 10 NHL players who are committed to going to college, they're going to college that year. Brady Tkachuk, obviously a little bit of a different story, but this is something the Oilers will have to be aware of should they choose to draft with that pick. And the guys I'm talking about are obviously Alex Turcotte and Trevor Zegras, so maybe we don't have to worry if a Dylan Cousins or a Peyton Krebs falls to us. And Peyton Krebs actually could be that interesting mix of what we're looking for. Honestly, if Peyton Krebs falls to us, 5'11", so he's that median height, right? He's not short, and he's still being 18 years old. He could grow to 6'1", 6'2", yet. I mean, I hit a very good growth spurt around 18, 19. I mean, the science is what males normally grow till they're 22, so let's not kid ourselves. Peyton Krebs still has a lot of room to grow. And same thing with Alex Turcotte. Now, Alex Turcotte, definitely, from the body space that he owns, a 5'11", 194 frame. I don't have much knowledge of Alex Turcotte, but from what I think I've heard, he's a power forward type player. And realistically, if you have an Alex Chiasson and an Alex Turcotte on the second line with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 2 guys, one with a nose for the net and one who can push some guys around and get wrecking ball going on, maybe, just maybe, you have a very deep, bona fide second line scoring threat. But like I said, I'm still in camp, trade the pick. So guys, that's where I'm going to leave it with you. I've made my point clear. Trade the pick. It's as simple as that to me. Get rid of Lucic, get rid of Larson, get rid of Sekera. One of those contracts, get something back that's going to get the job done for the Oilers heading into 2019-2020. The NHL Entry Draft in June going to be a good time. Right now, we got to open up the debate. The off-season begins today. Yes, sir. Around, 6:45 Mountain Standard Time in Alberta this evening is when our off-season began, while other teams begin the playoffs tomorrow. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I will catch ya in the next one.